Hello, my name is Brian Murphy. I'll be your instructor today. So now we're going to go into the teasers. So you're going to get onto your back. Your legs are nice and stretched out. Arms over your head. You're going to inhale, keeping your legs straight. You're going to roll it up. And you're going to go to a nice V position with your body. Inhale. Exhale, curve through your spine, roll through, arms over your head, and breath. Repeat. Inhale. Your arms go, chin on your chest, roll through your spine, and go into a V position. We inhale. Exhale, roll down one vertebrae at a time to release it down. Let's do that one more time. Inhale. Exhale up. Roll through your spine. Lift. Inhale. Exhale. Shoulder blades going down the back to breathing and release. And just hold on to your legs to finish. So the teasers are a very challenging exercise. So let's go through each of the fundamentals so you can get an idea of how we can get somebody to get to that position. So let's start with the legs and the core and kind of get an idea of how to get your legs to that place, because it's a challenge and they don't have the flexibility, or a lot of times it comes down to coordination. So, and of course strength. But sometimes coordination, if you got the coordination, you can gain that strength. Okay, so the pre-teasers, I call it. Your feet are flat on the floor, and what you want to do is, I'm going to actually grab a ball. And the right way I have the ball is, I'm going to put it sort of behind me there, because I'm going to go back a little bit, because I need the room to take a leg off the floor. So you're going to roll back just a little to keep almost like a nice support. Now, I feel my abs working really hard here. Now I have room to move my legs. So your hands can be either on the floor or you can reach. Now the left leg's going to come up, and there's that V position. There's that nice sensation of length, and then the core activated at the same time. Bend it down. Put it on the side, just kind of try this here. Reach. And then bring it down. We're doing one more time. If you're doing this, you are probably feeling your core. And down. And other side. And then put it down and sit up there. Did you feel that? I did. Because as I was going back, those lower abs, those are the ones you need to have the legs up in the air. Okay? So let's try that again, keeping the ball here, because I want that support, and I want you to get that feeling of what it feels like to have a leg off at that height. And a lot of times we don't understand it unless we actually do it. So go back a little bit like we did before. Now we're going to do both legs. So both legs come up and then lift. And there is your teaser position with your lower back on that ball. Bend it, sit up. Repeat. Go back. There's the ball. There's my support. Legs off. And there's my V position. And then you bend it and then bring it down. Did you feel how that ball helped you? Did you get that? Okay, there's the ball, and then your legs came off. Doesn't mean do you feel your legs? Of course you're going to feel your legs. Do you feel all this stuff working? Of course you are. But the ball helps you from not falling back. And if you do fall back, the ball is there. Okay? So those are your legs, and get the coordination of how your legs can be in the air without like a big struggle. Now we have the rolling up. That in itself can be a challenge for a lot of us. And again, the ball kind of helps with that feeling of rolling forward. And I found that, I'll just show you, that this, okay, so you start on the floor here. when we roll it up, halfway there, there's a moment for a lot of us where I feel like we get stuck. And it's always a challenge to say, okay, how do we get you guys to not get stuck? One is you can hold on that person's legs and they can get that feeling of rolling up and down. But I'll show, if I can show the slow motion. So as your arms move, upper body, this is the moment right here that we get kind of stuck. So as you lift, if you tuck, you're going to get stuck. You get tucked, you get stuck. Okay, all right? So when you roll through your spine, your pelvis has to stay as neutral as you can. Okay, this moment right here. Okay, get that back off. Now, don't get me wrong. It takes a lot of strength to do that, right? And that's why we had the ball a second ago. To get that feeling in there. So when you roll here, abdominals, bring those legs off, but we're not tucking. Okay? Alright, let's try it again. I'm going to put my hand here. I'm going to use one arm. So you can kind of, I want to feel what it feels like in here. And breathe. One, abdominals, legs, there. That's the moment. You come up. Now there's that one right here. Down. Now this is when you really like zip it up. Pull it in to lift up. Keep that. Abdominals, 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 abdominals to go down. Okay? None of that moment. At least I was trying not to. I was not tucking. Again, that is typically where we get kind of stuck. Okay? So, now, let's say they don't want to take their legs off, and they got the coordination of the rolling, and they're just saying, you know what, one leg at a time. You can put your feet on the floor, and as you come up, you can take one leg off. So you roll up just one leg. Okay? Let's say they've gotten that far, they've done both legs, then you add one leg and you put it down. Again, it's that coordination. Alright? And then release it down all the way. Okay? And last, kind of an interesting way to understand the legs and the positioning, you could put your arms back like this, here, and then you can take a leg off this way. Again, getting that coordination of what the legs are doing. Not as much abdominal, but it's more of a coordination of, okay, that's where your legs should go when you go up there. And then release it down. So let's try the teasers again and think about all those components. And think about how are you going to modify, or what kind of variations on the theme are you doing to help your own self to get to that position. And then what are you doing, the progression to get there, okay? So let's do it 2 or 3 more times here to understand the feeling, the coordination. Let's begin. 1, 2, reach. And then you're going to curve, slowly, roll it down 2 more times. And 1, 2, reach the arms, reach those legs, and roll it down slowly to release. One last time here, and lift it up, reach it, and go ahead and bend it in to release. So now we're going to go into adding, if you have somebody who's really into it, and it's a challenge in itself, to add weights. And a lot of the weights that I've added in these videos is light weights for actually intentional. I'm not using 8-pound weights, even 5-pound weights. I have a 3-pound weight here And what we're going to do once we get into that teaser position is bicep curls. Okay? So the full teaser position of the bicep curls is the most challenging. You can always have a variation on a theme, meaning that once you're there, you can have your legs bent. You can even have your feet on the floor. The thing is, either one that I just said, you still want to keep the curve. This is the position of the back. Your legs could be up, they could be on the floor. So when you do the bicep curls, you have that scoop. Because once we add the arms, there's a tendency to let your shoulders go back, let everybody go back there, and then we have something different, right? And it's unpleasant. Keep the curve. All right, so we're going to add the rolling into position. Now I am going to keep my arms over the head. Once again, with the heavy, you don't want to use heavy weights. 1 pound, 2 pounds is sufficient. All right, take an inhale. Exhale your arms. 1, 2. My arms are going to stay parallel to the floor. Palms facing up. Then you have a bend and stretch. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. Bend your legs, feet on the floor. Let's stretch out our lower back. We're going to roll down nice and slow. Bend your knees into the body and breathe. The teasers is a challenging exercise because you have to have the coordination and be able to move the legs up into a V position and then rolling down, back down. It takes strength, it takes some flexibility, and it takes a nice gentle breath and coordination. All of them apply. The interesting thing about any exercise that is a challenge, like the teasers and other ones, even planks, is the process to get there, and the teasers is no exception. So from using the ball to roll back, what does it feel like to roll down through your spine? You can even use a Bosu ball. And you can go almost over the Bosu ball and then come back up. It strengthens those lower abs right into the pelvic floor. And then understanding how the legs come off the floor when you're on the back of the ischium is kind of interesting also, because a lot of times we don't understand it. When we're too far forward and you're falling forward. But to understand where the back of the ischium is and how okay, this is where it is. And then as you take a leg off, and make that adjustment to understand where the back of the ischium is. I challenge you to use this exercise. All the progressions into the teasers are valuable. So I challenge you to use those progressions into your practice. And then finally, when you finally get somebody to understand all of it, stand behind them and guide them up a little bit and say, that's your position. And sometimes just holding it there and you're there with them, they understand and go, oh, that's what it feels like, and that's where our goal is.